What up, guys? Conscious One coming at you. Hope everybody is having a good day. Guys, last week I don't know what happened to Thursday. I swear I was counting. Like about a week ago, I was like Monday, today's Tuesday. Like I was actually trying to keep track. And then next thing I know, I was on Friday, and I'm like, what happened to Thursday? You know what I mean? So now I'm like, y'all here when I open up, I'm a little reluctant to say I hope y'all having a good whatever day. I'm like, damn, I don't even know what day it is. How can I tell people that? You know what I'm saying? But anyway, y'all, real quick, man. Yeah, apartments. It's gonna be a higher concentration, or let me just phrase it this way: they're gonna have to turn. It's so many mental cases that they're gonna have to turn apartments into institutions, which they already are. That's what they were designed to be, most of them. Okay, a lot of it was built like that for a reason. A lot of people, when they wake up to the realization that there's really no difference than being in like jail than it is living in an apartment complex, that's when things can get a little sketchy. When somebody wakes up and realizes it's no different being in the jail than it is living in some of these apartment complexes in these cities. It's really not a big difference. Now you can believe it is. We all wake up every day and we have to make ourselves believe that everything is okay when we know it's not. We have to believe that you're happy when most of the time you're not. But yeah, that's when things can get a little scary. When people start waking up and realizing that jail is no different than where they're living at. But it's so much crime and mental illness that is already going on in these cities, and much more to come, that they simply do not even have enough institutions to house these people. So they're gonna have to turn apartments into institutions, which they really designed for anyway. I remember when I was in New York, guys. I'm telling y'all, when I was in New York, I'm telling y'all, there was certain apartment complexes I went to that was designed just like prisons. It was no different. When you walked up to the door, it was said something about the superintendent of the building. New York City is the worst out of all the cities. Chicago is kind of like, you can still kind of fake it until you make it and stuff like that. But New York straight up told you, like, this is prison. New York had a really good way of letting you know that. Like this is actually prison. You can make yourself believe that it's a life, but it's a prison. But anyway, some of those buildings, guys, that I went into in New York City, they were designed just like prison complex. It was no different. I'm telling you, it was no different. Man, oh man, oh man. But they don't have, guys. I'm telling y'all, man. Sitting here watching mental illness go on a rise, guys. It's just forget about my own suffering, man. I'm telling y'all, I tell you all the time. I can only focus on my suffering for so long because the fact that I just endure is my heaven. Just to endure and just to not have to, be around people and actually be okay with that. If you can be in isolation and can, somewhat be content with life, man, God has given you a really good blessing. Just that alone. Being okay with isolation, being okay working on yourself, not having to have spouses or friends and none of that stuff, or mentors, being self-guided. But it's so, once again, guys, just to wrap it up, it's so much mental illness out here going on, guys. That apartments, they're a lot of people that get charged with these crimes and petty crimes and You know, they don't have enough prisons for these motherfuckers, man. Because when you lock somebody up in jail, that costs money to take care of them. That's why a lot of people invest in the prison systems. They invest, they put their money in the prisons because they know where this shit is heading. Your job does not pay you enough to sustain yourself. It does not. I told y'all back in the day, based on inflation, like minimum wage should be around $27, $28 an hour based on inflation. But, you know, so a lot of these apartments are going to be like mental institutions. And guys, when I lived in Vegas, I got a clear understanding of that also. That's why a lot of the apartment complexes were turning into single suites. I always tell y'all the story about how when I first moved in Vegas in 2011, I was living at this apartment complex, and one morning I woke up and walked out my door, and half the building was painted yellow. And I said, "Oh God, I got to get out." My lease was coming up, ending anyway, and I was like, "Thank God," because I said, when they turned this motherfucker into a Seagull Suites, I said, I got to get out of here. And I told y'all about a week. At that time, I was dating this chick. And I'm trying to think. I think she was at my apartment when this happened. So about 2 weeks, 1 or 2 weeks later, after they finished painting the building yellow, which is mind control in itself, paint that ugly ass yellow color. That's one of the reasons why I don't give a damn about living in Vegas. I can't stand the sight of them Seagull Suites. Them motherfuckers all over the goddamn valley. I mean, it's disgusting. But anyway, to get back to the point. So when I walked outside that day and saw the building was being painted yellow and found out they was turning an apartment complex into a Seagull Suites, I said, "Oh shit, I got to get the hell out of here," because what's about to happen now. What next? Within 2 weeks, my girlfriend was there at the apartment, and I came home one day. She told me scared the shit out of her because an SUV had went into somebody's living room a couple of doors down from where I was staying. You know what I'm saying? I think she was with her son too. They was shook up. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, it couldn't even 2 weeks pass by before some crazy shit happened when they turned this thing into a Seagull Suites. I mean, a car went into the goddamn living room, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Oh, but yeah, a lot of people sentencing in the very near future they're gonna be sentenced to not be able to leave their homes or leave their apartment complexes. A lot of homes are built like prisons. Just because you got a home don't mean that motherfucker ain't no project. We talked about that a few weeks ago, guys. They be building these homes and they all look the same. That's a prison. There ain't no goddamn home when everybody got the same home. And the people living inside them got to be under some mind control. Why would you want a house where all your other neighbors got the same kind of house and it all looks the same? That's a project. That's not a home. Man, oh man, guys. I didn't say it about enough, but yeah, a lot of people are going to have to be confined to where they live because they simply don't have enough funds to take care of all these mental people and people that ain't committed crimes, and they don't have enough space. And that's why I don't like living in apartments anymore, because you sign a lease and you're stuck there. And whatever happens, whatever criminality starts happening, guess what? You can't leave. And then you threatened, well, if you leave and you don't pay this rent, which you most of the time you can't pay because they don't pay you to pay your rent, okay? Now your credit messed up.